MLB The Show 19 was a definite step up from The Show 18, and although it's not perfect, there was a lot of good things in the most recent installment of the series. However, with the good, there is also the bad, and MLB The Show 19 definitely has some bad in it. That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video, and we're also going to touch on how they can fix the things that suck. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. To be completely honest, it feels like franchise mode has kind of been pushed aside by San Diego studios in recent years, as they've done pretty much nothing to the mode since like MLB 16. Besides contract extensions in this year's game, it's almost exactly the same in every single new installment. There are some pretty obvious ways you can improve it, such as relocation, expansion, a better scouting system, and just more customization in general. You want your franchise to feel personal, and putting features like those in would go a long way in helping with that. Some other ways they can improve the mode are with better trade mechanics, more control over other aspects of the team, such as ticket sales, concessions, and more, and a better explanation and setup of your team's budget, because the way it is right now is just way too confusing for no good reason. Also, how can there be a sports game in 2019 that doesn't have some sort of an online franchise mode? That's just fucking absurd. Even though the mode did suck when it was in the game, that's no excuse to take it out entirely rather than trying to make it better. The new RPG-esque elements they added to Road to the Show this year were actually kinda cool, but after a while they did get pretty boring pretty quickly. While they were a step in the right direction, they should definitely be expanded upon in next year's game, because you can only have so many conversations to get so many perks that you've already had in the last like 5 games before it starts to lose its value. And I have always been preaching for more customization in Road to the Show, and in general just more stuff to do in the mode. The whole gameplay of just hitting and fielding gets pretty repetitive after doing it so many times, so one thing that I think would increase replayability and allow for more of a personal connection with your player is the ability to buy stuff with your money that your Road to the Show player makes. Let us buy cars, houses, clothes, accessories. There's so much you could do with that. For example, just take a page out of 2K's book, give us a little hub to roam around in. It could be a home, a field, somewhere where you could show off all the things you get. It would just add a whole nother layer to the mode and make it a lot more interesting and personal. Moments was a pretty good idea on paper, and personally, I think it's been implemented pretty decently. However, there are some inconsistencies here and there when it comes to difficulty, and many players have been complaining about that since the release of the game. There have definitely been times when San Diego Studios has artificially made it harder to complete certain moments by doing things such as putting players with home run limiting traits in challenges where you have to go yard, and other little things like that. Now, to be completely honest, that right there is kind of like a low-key scummy EA kind of move, so there definitely has to be more transparency on stuff like this in the future. Otherwise, everything else about the mode has been pretty solid. There's a ton of content to play, the challenges aren't too excruciating, and it's actually been slightly enjoyable. So as long as they improve upon that in next year's game, that should be better. And of course, with every MLB The Show release, you have the little things about the online gameplay that get people frustrated. For example, the hitting is kind of wonky sometimes. There definitely is way too many lineouts. In real life, the average batting average on a line drive is like 830 something. But in the game, it feels like a majority of your line drives end up right at someone's glove. So I feel like that definitely has to be adjusted just a little bit. Sometimes the pitching is a little weird, but there's so many factors that go into it that you kind of just have to learn how to make it work. And of course, the online gameplay is never perfect. There's always freezes sometimes, stutters, lag, all that stuff, but you're not really going to be able to get rid of that. All in all, I think the fact that I have so little to complain about this game is a pretty good sign that things are moving in the right direction and the developers are kind of listening to what the community has to say. So that's going to bring us to the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more MLB The Show 19 content. Let me know in the comment section below, what was the thing you disliked most about MLB The Show 19? As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm out. Peace.